everything we could, and we got the win, and that was the most important thing today, to bounce back with a win. And I thought we did well, you know, to get off the line and get the 3 points, which was the main thing.
Talk us through the corner routines today. We've seen you go long to great effect all season. I wondered, would it have been like a late decision when you see like the big lineup that Eddie House picked?
I mean, we practice it all. We practice the short one, we practice first post, second post, everything, you know, and that's our quality. We can score in so many different ways, and today we did it brilliantly. I thought we were quite dangerous a few more times as well, so yeah, credit to the work we do at the training ground, you know.
How much nerve almost does it take to keep doing it? Because you could almost sense people getting irritated with you doing it for a third time, but I guess corners 1 and 2 sort of open up that space for third time, and then obviously Ezra's quality is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the stadium was a bit annoyed that we took it short a few times.
I think they were.
But yeah, it paid off in the end, and a great finish from Ed, so yeah, it was brilliant.
Physically, how demanding is it at the minute? I referenced you dropping to the turf. Obviously, looks like you've lost Kai today, lost Ebbs as well. For all of you, does it feel like, I don't know, like you're right on the brink, you're really having to push yourselves?
I mean, the schedule is crazy, but it is what it is, and we're used to it. We just have to keep going, you know, and yeah, it's the end of the season, so just leave everything out that we have inside, and just fight every single game and for every single win, and we did that today, and we just have to keep going, look for the next game now, and win again and keep going.
And of course, like for so much of this season, tonight when you look at the table, you'll see Arsenal on top of the league, and that's the be-all and end-all, right?
Yeah, that's where we want to be. Well, it's going to go all the way to the end, and we're ready for it. We're going to fight every single day, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Well done.
Thank you.
Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard talking about the importance of the result today. You said absolutely vital for them, Brighty, to get the 3 points. They managed to do that. What did you make of his post-match thoughts?
Yeah, you'd expect him to say what he's saying, because they know that at this stage of the season, you can hear him talking about the fans and how, you know, unhappy they were when they took for the third time they took the corner, but obviously as he scored. But I think from the players and the fans' point of view, there's a lot of pressure involved at the moment, because they've both been, I should say, through so much trying to finish this job off. So, you know, we're going to just have to see how it goes. Everybody's just going to have to just hang in there. You know, if it's going to be 1-0 for the end of the season, then you're going to just have to take it. But I totally understand from the fans' point of view, because they've been through it, and I totally understand from the players' point of view who are trying to do it, but they're obviously very nervous about what they're trying to do to get over the line. So, you know, something's going to give. Something's going to give.
The other thing you mentioned, which you've briefly touched on, and you certainly did that analysis at half-time, are the short corners. It's unusual from Arsenal.
Yeah, unusual, but you know, you train all week, and you train and train to go against the opposition that you're playing at, and you look at the weaknesses that team may have, and you might identify some, which Arsenal did today. They identified, played at short corner. You can pull a couple of people out of place and then get an opportunity to shoot, and they did that, and it's something that they've worked on. Although the crowd were moaning every time they took it, they scored a goal at the end of it. It's the goal that's won them the game. So they've stuck to the process that the manager's given them, and they've got the result come the end of it.
They'll keep doing that.
A very different story right now, because Arsenal are top of the table ahead of Manchester City, who were in FA Cup action a little bit earlier on, actually the same time as Arsenal. That is confirmation that City are through to the FA Cup final. They had to come from a goal down. Finazaz giving Southampton the lead in the 79th minute, but Doku and Gonzalez in the space of 5 minutes turning that game on its head. It's important for City, obviously, because they're into the final, but it's also important for the Premier League, because this is what it means for the rest of the season now, with the FA Cup final being on the 16th of May. So City will not play on the penultimate weekend of the season. These are the upcoming fixtures, and it means that City Bournemouth and City Crystal Palace are those two fixtures in the Premier League that still have to be confirmed. Does that impact the race, and how?
Well, the thing is that City know how to navigate this, even regardless of, you know, playing in the FA Cup and, you know, having to play the game at different times. It won't make any difference to them in respect to the players and what they know what they need to do, because this is the Premier League. You know, we're talking about a team that's been able to do it 4 times on the spin. So I'm not sure they're bothered about how many games they'll have to play if they can get this done. They'll be chasing Arsenal down to the end for me, regardless of how the fixtures pan out.
And they made quite a few changes for this fixture today.
Yeah.
And those boys that that came off the bench who haven't been playing turned up today and got a victory. And they're playing with a swagger at the moment, a confidence that, you know, Arsenal were playing at the start of the season, and I think that's what all the supporters want them to get back to, that swagger. But Man City look pretty much in control of what they're doing at the moment.
So Arsenal play Fulham before Manchester City return to Premier League action against Everton next time out. And that Fulham game, another London derby for them, it is at home. What would you say to the Arsenal team if you were in there right now with regards to everything we've kind of heard about the fans and playing at home and the nervous energy?
Well, I think that the players themselves are very much doing what they are told to do, because they weren't frightened where they say, OK, the fans are not going to like it, so we're just going to put it in. They're going to stick to the plan. And I think for so long as they stick to the plan, hopefully Eze's not too bad, because I think that he made a difference, just like he did at City, nearly scored. But him, Havertz, who obviously is out now, which is it's a real blow, and Ødegaard, I knew that with them three playing, we're going to create the kind of chances. So now we're going to have to find somebody else to step in where Havertz was to try and create those chances, because Fulham is going to be a tough game. It's another London derby. And, you know, they've caused us problems before. So it's going to be a game where they're going to have to be resolute again. They're going to have to take the chances. And hopefully there'll be more chances and more goals for Arsenal, because you just want to relax. Fans need to relax in the stadium as well. And it's up to the players to maybe give them that. It's up to the players to give them that.
So victory for Arsenal, another defeat for Newcastle, who are on their worst run under Eddie Howe. Let's hear post-match reaction from the Newcastle manager.
Well, Eddie, obviously in terms of result, the bad run continues. But in terms of performance, was there a lot to like about that? That old sort of classic, did you recognise your team out there today?
Yeah, I think we did. I think it was our best defensive performance for a long, long time. I think we looked solid today. We looked good from a defensive viewpoint. There's some good bits with the ball as well during both halves. We didn't create enough. And when we did create the couple of moments that came along, we didn't take them, and they took theirs from distance from the corner. So it's another frustrating defeat for us. It was a much better performance though overall.
What was better today? What did you see today that maybe you hadn't seen for a week or two, maybe longer?
I thought we saw defensive resilience, a lot of block shots. I thought we didn't have the feeling or the look of a team that was going to concede today, whereas I think in recent weeks we have. I thought there were some good individual performances within that. The team structure was good. So I think it was a lot better in that respect off the ball. I think it's, as I say, our best performance in a while. But we've got to try and put it together, and losing games isn't good enough.
And they have lost 4 Premier League games in a row. Looking at where they are in the table, Leeds are now just 2 points behind Newcastle. What did you make of what Eddie Howe just said?
Yeah, I'd agree with him in terms of defensively. They looked sound, and I'm trying to remember saves that Pope made in the game. He didn't have too many saves to make, but I didn't think they were a threat going the other way. They had the one chance that Wissa had at the end. I mean, Tonali had a shot from about 30 yards out, which, you know, hit the target, and Ray made a good save. But they didn't really trouble Arsenal's back line too much, and that's why I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand the anxiety within the stadium, because if they were, you know, peppering Arsenal's goal with shots, I can understand the nervousness. But the nervousness meant Newcastle had a bit of possession without really creating anything in the game.
You know what it is, Les, is that they've seen games. They've seen Wolves come now. Yeah. And where Wolves losing, beating Wolves, and they've seen goals scored at the death. I don't think that this is going to change for Arsenal, that the way that they're playing it. The reason why the players are going to just have to blast through it is because they are so nervous about what's happened, and they're so desperate for this to happen that they will take that kind of performance as long as they win, because you know it's just that I think the fans are just so desperate for this to happen. They are not going to change the way they are, and I don't think they realise how much pressure it puts on a player, how much you can feel that pressure, because I saw it happen to Zubimendi, you know, and then not long after that Zubimendi comes off. I don't know what the injury was, if it was an injury. But the pressure can get to the players. Yeah. No, it can get to them, without a doubt.
You can see that's happening. I just believe that, like I said, you know, in the Wolves game, Wolves were creating chances. Yeah. Newcastle never really created chances today. Yeah. And that's why I can't understand the anxiety that's going on at the moment, because the players are feeding off it at the moment.
Well, let's hear more from the players, shall we? And we go back to the Emirates Stadium to hear from Declan Rice.
Was that today just an absolutely vital 3 points you had to get?
Yeah, I think we knew coming into the game we had to bounce back after last week, and you know, Newcastle was no pushover. Top team, top players, top manager. So to beat them home and away this season is massive, but today was a really big 3 points for us.
It was some goal to win it for you, and there seemed to be a short corner plan, was there?
Yeah, I think different teams set up differently at corners, and everyone thinks we're probably going to cross the ball all the time, but you know, we had an overload always at the edge, so we exploited that. And there was one or two before that, before the goal went in, but what finished from Ebbs, you know, he's got that in his locker, and so happy for him.
3 points ahead of City now, and you play again before their next game. Is it now over to you, Manchester City?
No, it's just you know, we've got 4 left, they've got 5 left. You know, we knew after last week what we have to do. We have to win every game, and we can't focus on other people. We can only focus on ourselves. And yeah, we have a big Champions League semi-final Wednesday, so we turn to that now.
Well done.
Top man. Thanks.
You were saying they're well said when he said they only have to focus on themselves.
Yeah, because, you know, obviously the interviewer's got to do his job and ask him questions about what Man City are doing and how many games they've got, and you have to focus on yourselves now. This is the problem that Arsenal have had running in the running, is that the players, and they've got to learn from the experience of failing at this stage, and I think that's what they're doing now. They're learning. They can't think about what's going on with Manchester City. They can't even think about anything other than the game, what's coming next. Obviously, once you do get to the Fulham game, then they're going to be thinking, yes, if we can win this, then we're 6 points, and then that really does put a bit of pressure on Manchester City to win games. But at the same time, you can only do your job in the moment. So I'm pleased that Declan's saying that, because that's what will be probably coming out of the dressing room, and that's how we should be. That's exactly how we should be thinking.
You were saying they learn from the experience, and at the very start of the day, the two of you were having a conversation, and you asked Righty, how many players in this team have not had this experience? What were you thinking? Why did you ask that question?
No, because, you know, when you've had that experience of being in the lead and then someone's catching you, there is that nervousness within your group. When you haven't experienced that before, how many of the players, the new players, like you've got Eze, you've got Madueke, you've got Zubamendi, you've got these players that have never experienced that before, but they're starting to feel the anxiety the other players are feeling. And that's why I was asking the question, because sometimes someone coming in new can give a new perspective on it. But I'm not sure the players that we mentioned have got the personality to change that.
Well, we just have a couple of seconds left. I do have to ask you, though, about this very big semi-final that Arsenal have coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a big game. You know, obviously, going so deep in the Premier League and some of the Champions League, all I want is, you know, get to the next round of that one. Just get to the next round and we see from there, because the next round's the final. So all I want is for them to do that, because we seem to be on the right road at the moment. Get past the semis, and then we can start thinking about it then.
Well, they've done their job today. Arsenal back to the top of the table after beating Newcastle 1-0 at the Emirates. Thank you to Sir Les, and thank you so much to Righty. Great watching football with all of you. We'll see you next time.